guys, I hope you're all doing really well. Today's video is going to be my Pan That Palette update for you. This is the second update of the year and I have so much progress to share with you. I have 5 more pans showing since the last update. This update has been slightly longer than the last time period because I'm about a week behind on my videos. So just bear that in mind. But I will insert a little picture of where I was at the last update so you can see how much progress has been made. And here is where we are for the month of Feb. So we're actually in the first week of March now, but as I said, I'm a week behind. So if we start at the top there, you can see I hit pan on Vanilla Latte, which is just that lovely kind of yellowy cream shade. And I've just been using that as a transition shade until I hit pan on it, and then I've moved on to other things in the palette. But I'm really pleased to have hit pan on one of those top shades. The other two I've been really focusing on in the top row has been this shade, which is Nothing Else, and I've been using that in the exact same way as this delicate shade. I've just been using that to set my under eyes and sort of on the brow bone, any kind of highlight areas really. It's about a shade darker than Delicate was, so it's not as brightening, but it still works. And then the only other one I've really focused on the top row this month has been this shade here, which is Ice, and there's a bit of a dip going on in the middle there. I've been using that all over the lid just as a shimmery kind of off-white shade. And then on this particular row, the second one down, the only shadow I've really worn a lot, well actually I've worn Bare Necessity quite a few times. This is the sort of transition shade I've been working on since hitting pan on Vanilla Latte. Then I've used Toast quite a bit just to deepen the crease, and also I used Warm and Cozy, this sort of slightly cooler toned brown here. I've used that a couple of times as well. And then as you can see on this particular row here, the third one down, I hit a huge amount of pan in the shade Salted Caramel, and I really focused in on that one this month. Got a massive amount of pan showing, which I'm really pleased with. Then moving down to this next line of shimmers, I used this one here, First Prize. I used that once. I used Brown Sugar when I used the Warm and Cozy shade. It's really difficult to hold up, sorry, it's a bit awkward. And then I used Tiger Eye once, this shade here. And then obviously the main bulk of the pan I have is in this matte row of browns, and that is purely because I've been using these as eyebrow colours. So I have been using, so I had Pan on Earth the last update, and then I've just been mixing Take a Hike, Grizzly and After Dark, all of those in my brows, and I hit pan on all 3. And now I've started to work on this shade called Slow Motion, seen as I hit pan on these 3. And then lastly, this bottom row I didn't use hardly at all. I've just used the black one every now and again, just to either fill in any gaps in my hairline if my roots were showing through, or as an eyeliner. But yeah, I've really not used that bottom row much at all. I'm going to be focusing in on that in a couple of months' time, so that's why I've been prioritising the other shades at the moment. So now I have shown you my progress, I'd like to run through my goals for the month of March. So this month I really want to hit pan on Nothing Else, and I think that is definitely achievable because I've already worn off the whole embossing of the bee, and there's a huge dip going on in there as well. And I use it every single time I do my makeup, as I said, to set my under eyes. So I definitely think that's attainable. I would like to hit pan in Slow Motion. I don't think that will be very difficult at all. Again, using that in my eyebrows. And then I think I could probably hit pan on another shimmer. Probably this one called Success, which is right next to Salted Caramel, and it's very similar colour. I'd say this one's just slightly more orangey and this one's slightly more yellow, but they're very similar shades. And then maybe ice, you know. I've got a really big dip going on in there, and I've been sort of gravitating towards this one recently. Just does a really nice light colour all over the lid, so potentially I could hit pan on ice as well. So I currently have 9 pans showing out of the 42, which I'm extremely happy with. And then if I can get 1, 2, 3, 4 more pans, that'll be 13 by the next update. So we should be on track to hit pan on them all by the end of the year. But yeah, general thoughts around this palette this month. I'm really enjoying all the shades. The only issue is the formula for me. I don't feel like it lasts very long. And I'm used to like maximum impact, high pigment and super long lasting eyeshadows when it comes to, because I use Makeup Geek and I think they're the best formula I've ever used. Speaking of which, I just heard that they're shutting down, they're completely closing, which is such a shame. They stopped selling on Beauty Bay, which is the seller in the UK, a long time ago. So it's probably only a matter of time, but it's really sad because obviously I'm working on panning a lot of my Makeup Geek eyeshadows, which means I won't be able to get hold of them again. But c'est la vie. But yeah, going back to this, they don't last as long as those shadows at all. So that's my only sort of gripe with this palette, because I think if these were sort of better quality and, you know, lasted all day and everything, this would probably be one of my favourite palettes I've ever owned, because the shade selection is brilliant. But yeah, I think again I'm just going to stick to the goal of hitting pan on everything first of all. So that's going to be my initial goal. I'm going to make sure I can hit pan on all of these eyeshadows, and then we'll see what point we are left in the year, and if I've got any time I can go back and try and finish some shades up. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, just a quick update from me on this palette. And sorry it was a little bit delayed this month, but next month will just be a shorter month for me working on this palette. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what palette you're panning in the comments. I'd love to know. And I hope you will subscribe to my channel while you're here. I'd love to see you in my next video, and take care. Bye.